Hey, Max morning, everyone. Chris and Tammy here. Today is our day where we're actually decided to do it together. And the topic that we want to talk about, as the title says, is Q&As with Chris and Tammy. As you know, this group is a reflection of what's going on with the Accelerator 2022. And right now we're going through the 90-day run. And within the 90-day run, every single day there is a segment that we are talking about. And Eric yesterday had a segment where he calls it the hot seat, where there was Q&A questions. Okay. Now I know that many of you are going to watch this video days later, so you're not here in real time. So feel free to comment maybe your feedback as we start interacting with you here. But what we did is we took a series of questions, and these questions are actually going to be addressed over here, and then from there we'll be able to kind of tell you this, answer this question based on our perspective, how Tammy and I are handling these questions. Keep in mind, we are Crown Diamonds with Max International. We have been in network marketing for well over 25 plus years, full time. And through this, we've been through so many challenges and situations. And one of the questions we're going to talk about very briefly here is how do we do this business as a couple? And we'll come back to that in a minute. But before we begin, Tammy, I want to talk about some of the business and social etiquettes. But did you want to add something before I begin there?
No, let's just jump into the Q&A because we only have 15 minutes unless you have any specific questions yourself.
Wonderful. Okay. Well, let me address this. What's happening here is one of the very important aspect when it comes to business etiquettes, right? On the way you conduct. One thing that I tell leaders and also team members, as many of you have WhatsApp group, Telegram, Facebook message group. You have all sort of different environment, maybe on your TikTok and Instagram and so forth. And what happens is there's a lot of people in there that don't necessarily have experience building a network. And often what's going to happen is sometimes people may have certain opinions, certain things that they want to share because they see they're part of a group, and it's an opportunity to turn around and share their values, share their opinions. Now, there's some things that, and again, what we're telling you is not necessarily what you have to do. That's a choice. It's a choice that you are going to make. But what we're talking about here is how do you build a network marketing business that will thrive and evolve and be inspired to continue interacting in that group. Well, some things that are very important to keep in mind, and I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. I want you to keep in mind is what is the outcome that you're looking for. For example, the moment you get into politics, as you know, in Canada, we've had some serious politics in the past few weeks. It's not a good idea to bring this up because there's been a lot of situation that occurs that are different of opinions. In Canada, if you talk to 10,000 people, I tell you that you'll have probably 8,000 different opinions on what's going on, right? So and that's again it's called freedom of speech, freedom to think the way you choose, and everybody may think differently on how they perceive the information, on how it's being received for them. So my point here is if you get into politics, expect that there might be some people that may turn around and be vocal about certain things that matters to them because you open the door in that environment. And the other thing is, for example, the topic of money, right? There's different opinions on having money, not having money, and the people who have and the people who don't have, and there's a lot of conflict around that. And also our most cherished belief, right? A religious belief. There's Christianity, there's the Muslim community, there's and again, I don't know all of the different communities. I'm just giving you some points that if you bring this up and you have some people on your team that are part of these different communities, and let's say something is imposed on a regular basis, well, others may feel uncomfortable and they may choose to leave, or even maybe some could be upset. You understand what I'm saying? So you want to create a safe haven within your environment to focus on what the goal is. What are you trying to achieve? What's the purpose of that group? And have that very clear. And maybe at the beginning, you may want to even state some of the I wouldn't say rules, but some of the purpose of why this group exists and what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish together. Okay. So very important here is to keep that in mind when it comes to business. And I'm not saying that something is better than something else or something is right, something is not right. What I'm saying is what is your goal? What is the outcome that you're looking for when it comes to your environment and you want to create in building an organization with your Max business? So before we begin, I just thought of mentioning that because Eric touched on that. He was absolutely dead on, and this is something that I know Tammy and I have been very careful about. We've been trying to be very sensitive about, and I think it was I felt it was an important topic for us to cover.
Yeah, especially when you're tapping into social media, especially when you're tapping into markets that you're not familiar with, because we've been building a global presence for so long, and there's so many different communities out there, different beliefs out there, and you just want to be pretty neutral in that environment. It's different when you're having a common chat with somebody that has the same belief. That's totally different. But if you are building and wanting to tap into the global market, just be very
Sensitive,
conscious,
yeah.
yeah, of this, because you're going to have people that will not agree with you, and if you go back and forth, it doesn't look good. So we always keep everything focused on our goals and our mission and our passions, which is Max, being healthy, products, being fit, all the things that we're branding ourselves as living a great lifestyle, waterfront lifestyle, which it took us years to create, and now we're living it. So we talk about some of the challenges and stuff like that, so you can there's so many things to talk about. You don't really need to talk about these other things unless that is your brand. That's totally different. If that is your brand
Hmm.
and that's your focus, well, you'll connect with people in that environment, and some are going to agree, some are going to disagree. So just
But that's your goal.
yeah,
We see
exactly,
that's your environment, and
exactly,
that's our only message here.
yeah.
So now let's get into some Q and A's here in reference to what is the best plan for couples in network marketing, right? When it comes to using your social media, using your tools, presenting, and all of these things. So, Tammy, why don't you start? Because I know you have some
Yeah,
good points on that.
we're all individually unique. And if you're building this business as a couple, you're still individually unique. Some things that you can do is put on the table. Like, for example, I'll just share our life, because Chris is really great on the computer. He's really good at solving problems. He's really good at so many things, and I have a lot of great things that I'm really good at. My creativity, connection, all that stuff. Not that Chris doesn't have that, but we tend to spend our time, focus our times with our spaces. We have our own space. He has his office here. I'm on the other side. We focus on what it is that we want to do. And at the end of the day, it's the same goal. We want to build our businesses, attract new clients, attract new associates, and so we focus on our money making activities. We create trainings together. We create trainings separately. You'll see sometimes you'll see us together, sometimes you won't. And that's because we have so much of an organization. We need to attend to many people. So if you don't see me a lot and you're working with Chris a lot, it's not that Tammy doesn't want to be there. It's there's so many areas that we need to focus on to build our
Now,
organizations,
to
and
expand
that's
on
what you
that,
want to do too.
yeah, and style will vary,
Yes.
right? And this is something that you also need to be sensitive. Sometimes, for example, you'll do some Zoom activities together, but sometimes you'll be doing your Zoom activities individually, independently. And this is exactly what Tammy has. And just recently, as a matter of fact, she created her own Zoom account because we've been using mine, but she jumped in, with our prospects or whatever something she might be doing, and I'll jump in, and then something will come together. But it's at a point now there's so many activities going on that she created her own account. So that's my point, is that there's always we always work as a unit, but in the same time we each have our own individual spaces. And this is very important to give each other the respect and a space to be able to evolve as we see fit. The last thing you want to do is impose. Sometimes, for example, I tend to be a bit of a dominant person. I tend to take a lot of space. You probably notice that sometimes, right? And my wife is very kind and polite, and she'll step back for. But see,
I need a larger voice.
but but that's the thing. You see, that's the thing, and you need to be conscious of these things. And the reason I'm telling you that is I'm conscious of it, and being conscious of it, you can do something about it. Where you give your partner the space to be able to thrive and evolve and do things that she feel comfortable doing in a way she wants to do it, and this is very 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 important.
I'm going to tell you one of our secrets here. Can I tell him our secret? He's going, what is she
Yeah,
talking
I'm just
about?
wondering, what is she going to share?
When we do lives or when we're doing anything together, when we feel like the other one person is going too far, we'll just kind of tap each other's leg underneath. You don't see
You don't
this,
see that, but right now we're tapping
and
each
we're
other. You can
tapping
see
each
my
other.
arm moving a bit,
So
right?
so that's how we deliver our messages, and nobody even knows. So obviously, if you're in an audience publicly, you might have another cue because we tend to. Chris and I work so well together because we've been doing it for so long, and we know I can finish his sentences. We can do a one-on-one presentation with another couple sitting at a coffee shop or whatever, and Chris will do his thing, and then he'll step back because he realizes that he hasn't quite got them. And I got this way that I'll come in, and sometimes it works, and sometimes and we're so good at going back and forth. And these are things that you'll learn working as a couple. And like Chris said, honor each other's space, um, support each other, encourage each other. Don't pound on each other when one's doing something that they shouldn't be doing. Don't be doing that. You gotta always support and encourage each other. It's just like working with your team members. Not people don't want to be pounded on. When people feel like they're being called out, they just want to walk out of the room. And I've got that personality too. I'm not going to stand there and argue with people. I'm just going to back off sometimes. Well, it depends on what it is. See,
Yeah.
he's
So
tapping
right
my
now I'm
leg.
tapping her
He's
because we're going
tapping
on.
my leg.
So we got to move on to the next topic. So here's the thing. When it comes to social media, right? You probably have noticed we have the Chris and Tammy social media on Instagram, on TikTok, on LinkedIn. Okay. Now, not all social media we have two accounts, but the ones that we use more frequently. For example, Instagram. I have my one, which is really geared
Personal.
towards Max, and it's geared towards my business. And this is my personal one where there's a lot of things in there. And then we have the Instagram, which is the Chris and Tammy. Okay, commit to transform. And this is more generic lifestyle. We do trainings every mornings, and so different groups will have different things, but the one that's mine, I will often, if I do an event at Max or about, you probably notice, I'll take, a little selfie, or I'll do a little live saying we're jumping in, we're about to do a presentation, right? So in this case, if I'm at the beach or I feel like sharing something, I may do my personal, or maybe the Chris and Tammy. But that's the thing is we have the space where the two of us can combine our efforts, or we can also use the one that we feel, well, this is my space and I want to share that. And Tammy has exactly the same thing. So we have that for Instagram and
Facebook.
Facebook, of course.
I'm a
Yeah.
little bit more active on TikTok, but what we do is we end up sharing our stuff because we don't have the same followers.
Mhm.
Chris and I don't have the exact same followers. Um, so we're always tapping into new audiences. And just so you know that, you may have a Facebook account, an Instagram account, and a TikTok account, and you've got different followers on every single platform. So I highly recommend that if you're building it as a couple, both of you, again, build your brand, your uniqueness, and just connect with people. And you'll see that you'll go a lot further.
So let's go on to the next topic here. So we spent a lot of time working as a couple because I know that it's a very common topic that often people ask about. How do we able to work together and all of these? So we share that with you.
I just want to
So
expand on this one thing that he said to be careful and to be supportive, of course. And number one is to respect each other, which we already talked about. Number two is to have good communication.
Mhm.
That is really, really important. If you're not happy, you want to discuss stuff, you want to put things on the table, what he doesn't like, what you don't like, and it's okay to agree to disagree. By the way, it's perfectly fine as long as that communication is there and each one knows how each one feels. And then number three is trust,
Trust.
is to trust each other's way, and of course, and with all the respect
And then,
for
by the way,
sure.
if there's anything we're sharing that makes sense to you, give us a thumbs up, give us some hearts, let us know we're doing the right thing, we're saying the right thing. And if you pay attention to some of the things we shared with you here, it could be really, really helpful for you to build your business as a couple. And one thing also that's important is give yourself permission to say that it's okay to do this business without a partner.
Of
It's totally
course.
okay.
We
You
weren't
do
partners when we
not
started this
need a
industry.
partner to be successful at this business,
Yeah.
right? So we decided to partner because we love doing this, but some people are different,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
They might love each other, but they don't have the same interest in how they want to earn or the activities that they want to do. So keep that in mind. And through communication and through respect and trust, I'm telling you, you can overcome absolutely anything and everything.
Yeah,
Now,
just so you know, we didn't even know each other when we started network marketing.
yeah.
So we weren't partners from the beginning.
So let's move on to another topic now that's
Yes.
very important is um, if let's say you're new at this, okay? And you don't know where to begin or you don't know how to motivate yourself and how do you stay motivated? How do you find accountability like a buddy or something like that? So one of the things that's important is let me go back and I reframe this often is the Crown Diamond Global Impact Group was created for that purpose because we understand that not everybody that comes into Max will build a business with the same level of intensity or the same level of commitment. Now, the people that are behind this group that are organizing, that are doing the trainings, that are planning all of this, they are committed people. They are very dedicated. So what happens is if you show up and you start learning from all the videos, you just go on the feature and just start from the beginning and you can watch everything we've done for the past 40, 50 days now, 50, 49, 50 something days, right? So what's happening here is it's in an environment for you to learn, but just keep showing up every day. Every day there is new content for you on Tuesdays, on Thursdays, where it's today, I believe Ann Turnbull is actually doing the BOM, the presentation opportunity meeting, right? So it's happening at the same time that we're doing this training, this mentoring segment right now. So the fact is, every day there is content that is shared in this group. Just keep coming back, and and if you're stuck, here's one thing that Eric shared, and I completely agree with. Focus on the little things that matters towards your goal. For example, what are some of the basic foundation to building a network marketing business? It's prospecting. So focus on doing some prospecting activities. Let me give you an example. In LinkedIn, I've been having this account for years, probably close to a decade. And I have over 2,000 plus contacts that connected with me over the years. And between you and I, it's my fault. I never really paid attention to LinkedIn. I was more in a Facebook world. I decided to go back to LinkedIn, and every single day, I connect with 10 to 20 to 30 more people. They don't know who I am. And I just simply, I mean, they connected with me, so they're there. So the fact here is, I simply politely invite them to connect if they want to chat. And through all of that, just today, we sponsored a second person just by doing that. So focus on the small things. Don't worry about the big things. You know, you want to reach your core rank with Max. We know it's bronze, and but you don't know where to begin. And just focus on the small things where connect with someone and make a connection. What are your thoughts, Tammy, on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So another thing that I've kind of been up to with some core people who were very stuck. And I kind of made a decision myself that I was going to follow through with those 15-minute segments, and I was picking times of the days that I was going to do it for myself. And then a couple of the girls had suggested, why don't we do a 7 a.m. club? And I'm thinking, no way, I'm not getting up at 7 a.m. to start working. And you know what's interesting is it is my favorite one. We get so much productivity together. None of us are stuck. We're learning from each other because a lot of us are fairly new on social media. So we're doing all kinds of stuff
Talk about
where
the
it comes
15
to
minute segments that you do.
prospecting. Yeah. So what we do is, and I highly recommend you do this with your groups. And you're going to see all those people that said, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do on social media. I'm stuck or whatever. You just got to bring them into that environment. And today, what's interesting is I think we're a month in. They're signing up people regularly, associates. They're signing up customers. Their belief level has gone through the roof. I've seen it in all of them. I see them all posting on social media where some of them have never done it before, too shy, whatever, and they're even stepping up right now doing videos and reels. So if this core group can do it, you guys can do this with your own organizations and watch it grow. So we've even added on this Saturday thing. We decided that if we would all stay focused and work together on creating a week of content each, and we follow the guidelines of the sheet. Maybe Chris, we can share that
Well,
sheet
as a
in the
matter of
group.
fact, I wanted to know where they can connect. So as you're sharing
Oh,
this,
yeah,
so what's
sure.
important here is Tammy talked about these 15-minute segments. These are power, what do you call them? Power segment, power work,
Yeah,
right?
it's
Every 15
focused
for
accountability on money making
for
activities.
15 minutes,
Mm-hmm. It's
right?
no training, no talking.
This is not a chit chat
Mm-mm.
environment with training. It's an accountability segment.
Yeah,
If you want to join the people that are currently attending that,
yeah,
go to activeteamcalendar.com. Activeteamcalendar.com. It is on our Google Calendar, and you'll notice throughout the day. Okay. And Max Morning, nice to have you here with us. And one thing that's very important is as you are, okay, I'm just trying to, I forgot how to bring these comments up, but that's okay. So if you go to activeteamcalendar.com, it will take you there and you will see. And if you click on more information, you will have the Zoom room ID and the password and the time where it's taking place. Okay. So it is early in the morning, Eastern time. So it's probably kind of early afternoon or early mid afternoon for example, West Africa, right? With Asia, it could be in the evening at around 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, or okay. In some cases, it would be in the middle of the afternoon and evening. It could be your morning or it could be, middle of the night. The point is, I'm not saying that you need to go there. It's a reference for you to be able to plug in. It's all you need to do. So if the entire world wants to join us there at a time that's convenient, every segments we have are 15 minutes, and sometimes they will extend it for another 15 minutes, right?
yeah.
And they do what exactly I was sharing earlier is to connect with your contacts, do some things towards your business. Might maybe that this could be the step that if you decide to take action on that could get you unstuck
Mhm.
because now you're
Oh
actually
yeah.
doing something in line to building your business.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's even getting leaders unstuck because often you get caught up in different things, and you got so many things going on. You get focused, and I love my 7 a.m. I'm so excited to get up to do my 7 a.m. And I find that by the time I come back from the gym, so we do 15 minute. Often people go, I want to do another 15 because those 15 minutes went pretty quick. Now they want to do 30 of concentrated efforts. And then I go to the gym. By the time I come back, all this contacts that I'm doing, whether it's social media or contacting people through my phone or, different ways of contacting people, they're responding back to me. So it's still early morning that I can get a
So
lot of
these are
Zooms
examples.
booked, inviting people to presentations, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
these are examples
Hmm.
where you can be part of this. And Join this culture because nobody's doing this in the industry. Just plug in and just start doing work.
Yeah.
And I think you'll enjoy that. So if you happen to be in the Philippines, 7 a.m., it's 8 p.m. for you.
Mhm.
So it's pretty reasonable,
Yeah,
right?
because we haven't done our time change yet. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Eventually it'll be 12 again. So so this is this really so at the end of the day, folks, for things to change, you have to change.
Yeah. Try new things that are going to help
And
you
for things
evolve.
to change, you need to try new things.
Yeah.
And that's what we're inviting you to do is take action
Mhm.
and come back here on a regular basis. Listen to the information that are shared on a daily basis. There's a lot of work behind that. Don't take it for granted.
Mhm.
Just just absorb the information, pay attention, share this with your team, and let them know what is available. Thank you so much for the hearts. It's really kind and the thumbs
Yeah.
up. Thank
Thank
you so much.
you.
Really, really kind. So at the end of the day, folks, listen, there's so many questions that we can answer here, but we felt that these were the most important one. We hope that you enjoyed it, and we look forward to our next session. Wanted to remind you that I'm doing a BOM on Thursday at 1 o'clock, and maybe if I'm lucky, my wife will be joining me. Okay, so have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, and love you guys. Have yourself a wonderful day. Bye for now.